Hello, grade 7. I'm Teacher Matt.
Before we begin, we have a short activity called What's in the Bag? Inside this bag is an object. It is something familiar, but I will not show it to you yet. Your task is to write at least 3 WH questions that you would ask to guess what's inside the bag. Remember, you start the questions with who, what, when, where, why, or how. You have 1 minute and go! Very good, grade 7. Your guesses were interesting, some were close, some were very creative, but now there's only one thing left to do. The question is, are you ready for the reveal? I can't hear you! All right. Drum roll, please. 3, 2, 1, and let's see what's inside. Oh, it's a water bottle. Interesting. So, did you notice that you used WH questions to gather an information that connects to our lesson today? Now, I will turn you over to Teacher Chanel to find out more about WH questions.
Thank you, Teacher Matt. That activity showed how WH questions help us gather information. So today, our lesson is all about WH questions. Our learning objectives are, by the end of this lesson, you are expected to identify the different WH questions, explain the purpose of each WH question, construct grammatically correct WH questions, and create WH questions for interviews. So, what are WH questions? They are questions that begin with who, what, when, where, why, and how. We use WH questions in daily conversations, classroom discussions, interviews, reading comprehension, and story analysis. The correct structure is WH word plus the helping verb plus the subject plus the main verb and of course the question mark. For example, where do you live? Now let us explore the purpose of each WH questions. First, who asks about people. For example, who is using the umbrella? Second, what asks about things or actions. For example, what is inside the bag? When asks about time. Example, when do we use this? Where asks about place. For example, where can you find it? Fifth, why asks about reasons. For example, why do people use it? How asks about manner or process. For example, how does it work? These are the common mistakes to avoid when constructing a WH question. Forgetting helping verbs like do, does, did, is, and are. Incorrect word order and using the wrong WH word. Always remember the correct structure. It helps make your questions clear and easy to answer.
Thank you, Teacher Chanel.
Now, we'll do a written activity called Choose the Correct WH Words. For the instructions, read the sentence carefully. Second, identify the correct WH words. Third, write a complete WH questions in your notebook. For example, the statement is, the boy is late for school. So the statement will become a question. Why is the boy late for school? Now, it's your turn to write in your notebook these following sentences. You have 2 minutes to finish this task.
Now, I will turn you over to Teacher Chanel for the assessment.
Now for your assessment, you will conduct an interview using WH questions. Here are the directions. First, think of one person you would like to interview. This can be your classmate, sibling, or a friend. Second, create 6 original WH questions about their favorite school memory. Each question must begin with the following WH words that we just learned earlier: who, what, when, where, why, and how. Make sure your questions are written in complete and grammatically correct sentences. Then conduct the interview using the WH questions you created. Then write the interviewee's answers clearly and completely below each question. Submit your work on a sheet of paper. Great job, everyone! Now that you've practiced using WH questions in real interview, it's time to reflect and recall what we've learned. Teacher Matt will guide you in our short review and closing activity.
Before we end, let's recall the 6 WH questions. Together, everyone, say them with me. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Very good! Now in your notebook, I want you to write 1 WH questions of your choice. Underline the WH words that you used. Write 1 sentence explaining its purpose. For example, why ask about reasons? Remember, WH questions are important because they help us gather information, understand better, and communicate clearly. Try to use them in your reading, writing, and daily conversations. They make learning and sharing information easier and more effective. Thank you, Grade 7.